Good to see you all tonight. We have a couple co-hosts, so I'm happy to help with the tech as well as Amy Nelson, who's often on Wednesday nights as well. And so Amy will help co-host as well for our Welcoming Congregation team and this team that's helping to lead the Transforming Hearts course again. And I'll turn it over to them in just a moment. But first, if you have a chalice near you or a chalice in your mind or heart, you can light that. And I have one here for us that I'll light as well. And I have these opening words. So I invite you to take a breath this evening and imagine you're gathered in person with each other across the distance. Or on the opposite end, imagine you're welcoming each other into your own home. These souls are gathered with you in your own doors there. These words of chalice lighting are from Joseph Cherry. He writes, "If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we as a people of faith be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving." Amen. Good to be with you tonight. I'll turn it over to our leaders for tonight's forum on the Transforming Hearts Collective and course.
Well, hello, everybody. Very glad to be with you this evening and want to talk to you about the course that we're looking at starting in a few days. It's called the Trans Inclusion in Congregation course, and we're hosting the second gathering. The first one was started last January before the pandemic, and it consists of 6 sessions that have been collaborated and written by Reverend Michael Slack and Zir Alex Capitan. They are the co-leaders of Transforming Hearts Collective, which works with congregations to develop anti-oppressive frameworks for church life, to fully affirm and celebrate people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, and to foster community practices that contain racial welcome and connection. I want to tell you a little bit about these 2 people. Reverend Slack serves as a community minister for worship and spiritual care for Black lives of Unitarian Universalists. He lives in Durham, North Carolina. He's the vice chair on the board of LGBTQ Center of Durham and an advisory group for the Center for African American Religion, Spiritual Politics, and Social Justice. Zir Alex Capitan has worked for years at the national headquarters of the UU Association, supporting anti-racism and welcoming congregations. He's a trainee, a speaker, a consultant, an editor, transgender and queer UU who does radical social justice work to help queer and trans people connect to religion and spirituality. So it is Alex's sermon that he gave in 2013 that I want to read parts of it to you because it really gives you a good flavor of what this curriculum is about. And his words are very profound. There are a lot of ways that I feel like an orange in a sea of apples, but I'll give you the biggest example from my life. Every time I'm out in public and I have to go to the bathroom, I'm reminded that I'm different. One of the linchpins of our culture's worldview is that all people are men or women. There's no overlap and no other options. But I'm not a woman or a man, and so everywhere I go, I'm faced with 1,000 reminders, small and huge, that I'm supposed to be a woman or a man, that the way I am is not normal, is wrong, is downright impossible, that I don't exist. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, pink or blue, he or she, every time someone points me towards the women's locker room, I shrivel inside. Every time I buy a plane ticket, I have to provide my gender in the box. I feel like I'm participating in my own invisibility. Every time someone assumes my pronouns and says, Alex, she, her, I have an out-of-body experience. Who are they talking about? My internal self asks. I'm gone. I'm not there anymore. I can put on a smile and survive, but I am no longer fully present. Each time I'm reminded that I'm different, or that according to our dominant culture, I don't exist, it's like it's a feather or a pebble or a stone is added to the burden that I carry. One feather or one pebble or stone is nothing, but they sure do accumulate. They accumulate over the course of my day, over the course of my month, over the course of my lifetime. Those stones don't go away, to the point where I have to decide, do I want to take that on today? Do I have the emotional reserve to take that on? Would I rather stay away from the places where I'm most likely to encounter feathers and pebbles and stones? A welcoming congregation program asks congregations to challenge their own sense of where the boundaries of belonging are, to draw the circle wider, to practice this so that we can keep practicing it and keep drawing the circle wider, little by little, step by step, slowly but surely, to make it a core practice for us to continue to ask, where are the boundaries of belonging now? Can we expand them further? The process of transformation is a spiritual practice. It's spiritual because to remove a barrier to authentic relationship with ourselves and each other takes lots of practice, and it is the most deeply spiritual work that I know. It does not magically happen. Naming ourselves as a welcoming congregation or an ally does not automatically make us different. The welcome takes practice. Every time an assumption shows up, it impacts someone here. Someone feels devalued for having an experience that doesn't line up with an assumption. Someone knows that they will never invite their brother to come here or their best friend to this church. Someone wonders if this is really a place where their child will be fully valued as they continue to grow. It starts with noticing where your collective edges are, just noticing them, and then practicing pushing back on them. Questioning the assumptions that are being made, using language a little bit differently. And to conclude, I am saying that by practicing welcome in this way, by extending the circle of belonging bit by bit, and embracing transformation as part of engaging in welcome as a spiritual practice, you will expand the circle of belonging far wider than just to lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer people. Although you will reach many, many more of us well in the process, you will bring much needed healing to people who have been members of this community for years. And that is what being a welcoming congregation can be. That is what practicing beloved community looks like. May it be so. Lynn?
Thanks, Marie. Erin, do we have that video?
Aaron, we're not hearing the audio. I'm thinking maybe others are not hearing it too. Yeah, if you go back to screen share, and then often there's a little box to click to share computer audio.
Yeah, I selected the audio. I don't know if it matters if I'm muted or not. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Let's see.
It might be because of your headset. I'm not sure. Sometimes that gets in my way. Bear with us as we figure out some tech. No problem.
Hey, Reverend Luke, can you hear me? Yeah, so I did the sound. Was it? Do I have to select the audio, or do you know? Wondering if you're missing something here.
I guess just when I go to share a screen, normally I click share computer audio.
Yep.
But I have had problems when I've had my own headphones in before.
Ah, okay. Let me
I don't know
do
if
that
that's
then.
an issue. Yeah,
Yep.
that might be an issue. Here are some extra tech tips for you as part of tonight's forum instruction. As we all learn things we never wanted to know. See
I
if that makes
suppose
a
if
difference.
push comes to shove, there is closed captioning we could turn on.
That's true. Yep. Good idea, Trish.
I could wing it too.
We'll see if Aaron's able to connect it there. We'll wait just another second, a few seconds.
You know, in terms of like, again, that concept of welcome and welcome as a spiritual practice, you know, welcome often gets talked about in terms of the newcomer coming to church service for the first time on Sunday. But that's not what Michael and I mean when we're talking about welcome. We're really talking about creating that feeling of belonging that we reflected on earlier for every single person, every time they enter a space, whether it's their first time or their 500th time coming in those doors. It's about how our children experience our community as much as it's about how our elders and our leaders experience our community and our newcomers, right? It's all of this. So when we're talking about welcome, please know that that's really what we mean.
Right. It's really, I started using the phrase, it's the full-bodiedness of congregational life, right? Like how we each show up in the space, how we each feel valued in our fullness, how we feel celebrated, right? In our fullness. And in order for that to happen, space has to be created. We have to build space for this acknowledgement that we show up in all of our complexity. There has to be room. We have to make room for all the ways in which we show up. And if we make a commitment to doing that, then effectively we're making a commitment to come into conflict in some way about how something should or shouldn't happen, or what we should or shouldn't do, or who should or shouldn't be in leadership and why, right? At every layer of congregational life, this beloved community paradigm matters. And it is why we use this and offer this as a foundation for the work that we're doing. Because that is really what can ground us. Because issues are going to come up, and folks, there will be uncertainty and confusion and fear. There always is when we're talking about culture shift. And it takes practice and it takes time, and that's good. We have a tendency sometimes in our social justice work to engage an issue, engage it for a moment of time, check it off, and move on to the next thing. And feel great about that. And there's nothing wrong with feeling good about the work that we do, because all of it matters. And this is a lifelong journey.
Mm-hmm.
This lifelong journey kind of work. It can't be work to be checked off. We continually grow in it. And so the hope is that as we do this work together over these next sessions, that we can understand how to hold the space of living in that reality. Not just for the time period that we're in the course together, not just for the time period that your congregation decides, for example, that it may want to re-engage welcoming congregations work, not for that limited time, but for the long haul. It will make a difference in who we are as people. It'll make a difference in how our congregations feel, not just the newcomers, but the people who have been in the community for a while.
Right. So as we move through this course together, please keep this.
Thanks, Darren. I'm Lynn, and I wanted to kind of talk about I'm kind of new to the church, maybe a year and a half. The experiences that I've had, I've been in the church before I was a member, and things are just always special. And I've been in the church, of course, since I've been a member. And one of the things that I noted is, it's not just the people. It's not Luke. It's not the staff. It's the energetics of everybody and everything that pulls it all together. And I think one thing that's at the center of all of this, to me, is the chalice lighting. It's at the beginning of the service. It's when we get together in chalice circles. It's when we get together for small groups. By lighting that chalice, it holds the space for us to do whatever work we're going to do. And I see that. I just see that as part of sacred space, as part of it's just part of the work that we do as a group, and we offer to all of us. We give it to ourselves, and we give it to everyone who walks through that door. And I don't know. That's all I was going to say, Marie.
So to talk just a little bit more about the details of the class, we're asking that folks would watch the videos. They're short. They're about 45 to 60 minutes long. And to think about the ways that you're feeling in watching the videos and being aware of just some of your reactions. We have a covenant for people to look at and agree to. It's somewhat similar to chalice circles, that you are not there to judge others, that you're there, you come with an open heart to listen and to make the space safe for everybody, and to give people a chance to express their own thoughts and their feelings. We ask that people be prepared to sit with their discomfort and be curious about that and figure out why they're feeling that way. Lynn and I do not come to the group as experts. We come to the group as facilitators to help you have a safe discussion. There will be questions that we pose, and our group is going to be about 10 people. We want to keep that small enough so that people do have time to talk and to share their different viewpoints. Right now, we only have one group set up, but we can certainly set up more if need be. We ask that people be open to exploring their own upbringings, their values that they were raised with, to look at how they're living their life now, if in similar ways or different than how they were raised, so that you can figure out what it is that you believe And do you think that your beliefs ever get in the ways of how people feel? The statements about feathers and stones and pebbles, are you adding that to other people? Or is there a way to lighten other people's load so that they don't have to pick up those things and carry that level of discomfort or judgment or something askew when they interact with you? And Aaron may just also, I'm going to turn this over to Aaron, who will help talk about signing up for the class, but just we learned that his email is incorrect in the e-news. So just to be aware of that.
Thank you, Marie. Yeah, so don't click the email in the e-news. I sent it in the chat. I believe it's the email that's registered with the church too. So if you, and there's a place supposedly to find those. So that's where that would also be there.
If you get my emails, Aaron, it is correct in Realm. So
okay, cool. Awesome. So for the course registration, so the church had purchased this. So it's meant for congregation members. And so what we do is we just, once you register for the course, or if you want to watch the videos, now or later, just let us know. There's a registration form that I will send you out with instructions. And actually, I share it right now. This doesn't have sound, so it should go a little smoother. Let's see. So, or not. There we go. So, what you do to enroll is you go to the website and there's a coupon code, and it's UROCH-MN. So maybe you might be able to. It's fairly easy to walk through. When you get to the website, you'll click enroll, and then once you put the coupon in, the pricing goes away, and then you have access to their site. And they have a lot of great information on their website for this course. So there's a welcome video, and as Marie said, they're about each session video. So there's 6 session videos, and then there's the welcome video. The session videos are about 45 to 60 minutes. So if anyone runs into any issues specifically with signing on, they can't get it to work, or the video, they're having a problem with that, let me know. And so I guess at this point, I'll just stop and ask, has anyone tried to enroll or have access to this and have any questions? No? Okay. So I know I sent it out to a few people that have registered for the class. So if anyone is on that call, I think I've seen a couple. If you run into any issues, let me know. Just reply back to that the email that I had sent you with all the information. And so if anyone else wants this, just send me an email. Again, this is incorrect here, the one in the newsletter. It's the one in the Zoom chat. And I think we'll probably get a correction out there, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see about that tomorrow. But let me know if you have any questions, and I'll help you get set up. The first session is this weekend. So, just let me know. I'll be around, so I can help you even Sunday if need be.
I'd like to also add that people can certainly take this course on their own. They can listen to the lectures and think about it on their own. And that's definitely an option. I think it's just much more powerful. It's more, you get a fuller experience by going through the questions with other people and hearing about people's experiences and what they have gone through. So you can do it either way. And my bias is to do it with the group if at all possible. But if your time is so limited and that you can't, please go through the materials. It's very, very powerful, wonderfully written information.
Marie, can I ask a question?
Certainly.
This is Anne. I'm just wondering what dates are the discussions?
It's every other Sunday, starting this Sunday from 2 until, I think we have the Zoom session until 4, and we skip Easter. We take a break on Easter, but it's every other Sunday.
Okay.
And it's listed in the e-news, the dates, Anne.
Okay, I must have missed it in the e-news when I looked at it. I was more interested in the link when I looked. I was in a hurry and in my car.
And then there's also the titles for each session is listed in the e-news. Isn't that correct, Lynn?
I didn't see it in the e-news.
No? Oh, I thought it was.
I don't think there was that much detail in the e-news.
It is, you have to scroll way, way down. You might have to say see more.
Oh, see more, and I did not. Okay. I will do that. Thank you.
There's another link down there that says for more information. And that whole sheet explains all each of the sessions and has the dates. And I believe that one has Erin's right email address on it.
That's right. I just shared that link in the chat for everyone. It's the files constant contact one. That's what Trish was referring to. So that has all the sessions, has Erin's correct email, and then the dates as well. So that's there if you want that, or if you have any trouble finding that, email me or Erin or Marie or Lynn or Erica in the office as well. We can help out.
The first time we went through this curriculum last year, the group was so energized, we didn't want to stop meeting. And so we added 3 more sessions at the end to talk about what we'd like to see going forward and how we could be of service with the new ideas that we had. So it really was important for people to stay in the group. And a few of us joined then the welcoming committee. Any other questions? I hope many of you will sign up. It's well worth your time.
I wonder if there aren't questions, if I can jump in here, Marie or Lynn or Erin, if you want to, if you'd be willing just to even list the general topics of the sessions from those 6 sessions. So folks might have a chance to read those more in depth, but to give a very brief overview for those who haven't read that or are just starting to think about that, if you have those handy.
Session 1 is Introduction to Beloved Community, Welcome as a Spiritual Practice. You get grounded in what a beloved community approach to welcome is, reflect on your personal experiences of welcome versus unwelcome, and envision what practicing beloved community in a congregational setting looks like. Session 2 is on gender and our faith community. You'll review the origins and impacts of gender binary roles and how they connect and uphold patriarchy. Explore gender roles and patriarchy within organized religion with an emphasis on UUs historically and also how they play out today in your congregation and at large. Reflect on the faith grounding for how we are called as people of faith to dismantle gender-based oppression. Session 2. Session 3 is unpacking the gender binary. Learn to separate different dimensions of gender from one another, biology, expression, and identity. Explore the incredible diversity and variation of experience within the different dimensions of gender. Reflect on how your own experience of gender aligns or does not align with the gender binary. That was a very, very good session. 4, trans experience and spirituality. Learn the risk factors involved in being transgender and the ways that race, class, age, ability, and other elements of identity impact trans experience. Learn about the experiences of trans people in Unitarian Universalism. Explore the many varied spiritual gifts of trans people. Number 5, the role of culture in trans inclusion. Gain an understanding of the iceberg model of culture. That was very, very important. So much is underneath the surface when you look at power and control. Explore the characteristics of mainstream or dominant culture. Discuss how trans culture differs from mainstream culture. And the last one, transgender and creating a paradigm shift. Explore how to set the goalposts for your congregation's understanding of welcome and radical welcome. Learn why anything less than radical welcome does not work for the majority of trans people. Gain tools and practices for congregational culture shift.
Thanks, Marie. Any questions from folks who are wondering about the course, or have questions for Lynn or Aaron or Marie? And I know there are a couple others here who took the course last time as well. Questions or things folks wanted to share?
I have a super quick question that I'm sure will be covered in the course, but I'm looking at this description that says it's a course by Reverend Michael Slack and ZR period Alex Capitan, and I'm not familiar with that abbreviation, ZR, how to pronounce it and what it stands for, but I'm sure it's related to the course.
It is. It's pronounced Zir, I believe, and it donates somebody that does not see themselves as male or female.
Thank you. See, we've already learned something tonight. Thanks.
You have.
So are the videos meant to be background for each session, or will they be played as part of each session?
The videos would be what you would watch ahead of time and think about the material presented, and then we will have a number of questions that we explore that are related to the topic of the video. And so we spend our time together in dialogue about what we've just seen. When we did, well, before the pandemic, we watched the video together and we had the discussion together, but we're doing this differently now.
And I'll also note, I didn't mention this earlier, as part of the course, each session comes with additional resources and articles and documents. So there's a lot of information and a lot of stuff to think about to bring to the discussion too. So the video's the base, right? The other stuff would be optional.
Additional, but the optional things are wonderful. I mean, there's maybe 5 to 6 other things that you can read that are related, that go into much more detail about the overall video, and are worth their weight in gold too. So there's lots of things that you can read to get ready for this, or just to see the video if that's all you have time for.
Well, they also give you a little quiz too. You don't have to take it. It's like 4 questions. Pretty easy, but I mean, it's up to you. So that, I mean, they just give you a lot of stuff, and you also have access to other people who've taken the course, their comments about each topic.
That's
at
right.
the end of each topic.
Hello, it's Benita here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm out here a ways, and I've just got a new smarty phone that I hardly know how to use. So
Yay.
Do I understand that this Sunday I'm supposed to have looked at a video and 4 or 5 reading somethings and be ready cheerfully at 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock to discuss it with my friends. Is that the story?
Well, we'd like you to watch the video, and we'd like you to come at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, okay.
You'll
2 hours.
gather with us at 2. And yes, and think about what you've read and be ready for an interesting discussion, and we'll pick your brain.
And you don't have to be cheerful, Benita.
You know,
it comes with the territory, Jerry. We'll lean together. I'll learn as I go here.
Good.
And again, I'll emphasize, if anyone needs help, just email in. And are you able to see the chat right now for the Zoom call? My email's in there. You could copy that, and then if you send me an email, I can just, verify that it works and everything. And if you run into any trouble, just email me and I can jump on a call with you.
I don't see the chats, but I was told this thing is very intuitive. It'll be a snap.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of fumbling along, but I've got your name, and I've got the church directory printed out.
Perfect.
And we will connect.
Okay.
Good.
Awesome.
That's great, Benita. And Benita, you have my phone number too. So if you need to call your tech assistant minister, feel free.
Oh, you're too generous, y'all. I'll try not to make this a big deal. I'll just smooth into it.
Any other questions for our panelists, our hosts for this course and for this forum tonight? I don't see any in the chat here.
If we know that,
Robin,
if we know that several of those dates don't work for us to do the group, should we just do the whole thing on our own?
I don't think so. There may be some things that you feel like I would do the videos on your own, the ones that you miss, but please feel that you can still come to the whichever sessions you can come. Oh yes, please still come.
Didn't know if we would be hogging a spot.
You can hog a spot.
So even if I can only make it to 1 or 2 of the discussion groups, I should still try, because I want to take the course even if it's entirely on my own. But
sure, go ahead, and please let Aaron know. We want to see the numbers, and if we need to have another group, just go ahead and give him your name, and we'll see. We'll work with you. We don't want anybody not to take even parts of it. It's important stuff.
Yeah, if all else fails, I'll just go through it on my own, but it's good to hear other people's point of view. And Aaron, I already just sent you an email. So, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else, panelists, Lynn, Aaron, or Marie, that you'd like to share with your group here? Are there questions going once, twice?
Just thank you very much for offering it.
Yes, thank you to this team for being willing to do this as they learned trial by fire in the spring, how to do it online instead of in person, and taking those skills to this time. We're really grateful for that work, this really important work as a congregation. So thank you all. I'll end, unless there are any closing things from our group leaders.
I just want to thank you, Luke, for letting us do this. And Marie and I don't bite, so please come and join us.
That's great, Lynn. Thank you. So some closing words, the same as we began with, as I extinguish our chalice here. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we as a people of faith be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. Good words any day of the year, and especially now. Thanks all for joining us. Thanks team and group for leading us. Be well, stay connected, take care, and hope that many of you can participate on Sunday.